Hangover couldn't get any worse for corporate legacy news media. The latest ratings numbers are in, and they are very, very, very bad. MSNBC, CNN, they are bleeding viewers like it's the end of the cable television era. And maybe it is. That's what we have to consider. So let's look at some of the numbers. New York Times reports viewers flee MSNBC and flock to Fox News in the wake of the election.
If you thought the collapse of corporate media was just a post-election dip, think again. MSNBC and CNN are in free fall, bleeding viewers like never before. What's behind this mass exodus? It's not just about bad ratings. It's about viewers waking up to the truth. Let's break down how legacy media is imploding and why independent creators are taking over.
Primetime viewership at MSNBC down 53% from October, up 21% on Fox News. Adweek reports Fox News wins the week but still loses viewers. This was the immediate aftermath, pointing out that according to Fox News, they drew a 69% share of the cable news audience, 72% share in primetime. That's their best in 28 years. Meanwhile, MSNBC and CNN are at the bottom of their historical viewership. And then Yahoo News, MSNBC viewership craters 38%, CNN down 27%. Fox News audience jumps 41% post-election. There is a lot to talk about.
Hold up! 53% down? That's not a ratings dip. That's a full-on collapse. And it's not just post-election burnout. This is years of corporate media prioritizing shiny graphics and stale talking points over real journalism. Viewers are done with the propaganda machine that protects the powerful instead of challenging them.
Here, post-election drop-offs are not unusual. We saw it too for 3 days. Many of you, much to your dismay, will remember that I talked about it a couple of times. What you kind of have is oftentimes there's a general tune-out after the election. The losers kind of lick their wounds and go home. The winners take a victory lap, which could explain some of Fox News's bump. Everybody might tune out for a little while. But something different seems to be happening here. This is increasingly not smelling like we're just taking a break from politics on corporate media moment. There seems to be something broader going on. People are tired. People are disillusioned with what they get from corporate media. And many are realizing, wow, it was the influencer election, the social media election, the independent creator election. We had our best viewership ever in August and September and to some degree October, ever, ever, ever. And a lot of people seem to be saying, I may be tuning out for now or not from news and politics in general, but I don't know that I'm going back to...
Boom! Here's the real story. Viewers aren't just tuning out. They're tuning into independent creators who aren't controlled by corporate sponsors. Shows like this one are thriving because people are hungry for authenticity, not corporate spin. The old gatekeepers, they've lost their grip, and they know it.
CNN or MSNBC when I come back. And there's not been a lot to be hopeful about over the last few weeks, but this is kind of making me feel like actually we're doing okay. We had this 2-day decline, and we're back. We're not at the September, October record numbers, but to give you a sense, pre-election, we had this sort of baseline of 1 to 1.4 million views a day on YouTube. During the height of the election, 4 million views a day, 4.5 million views a day. But things have sort of settled around 2 million views a day, 1.8, 2.3. This means that even after this kind of come down, 50% down on MSNBC, et cetera, we're still kind of double where we were a year ago. Now, I'm not really saying anything groundbreaking here by saying it seems like there's a more systemic shift from corporate to independent media. We've known for a while that the networks are more invested in maintaining access to power rather than challenging it. But here's the real kind of new part. More and more people seem to be catching on. Just because there's shiny graphics and breaking news banners and 24 hours of pundits recycling the same stale talking points, that doesn't mean that it's your own.
Now, some might say Fox News is winning with its 69% cable news share, but even they're losing viewers because the entire cable model is crumbling. The real winner here, independent media. The right-wing space figured it out first with massive funding for creators like the Daily Wire. The left needs to catch up fast or risk losing this opportunity entirely.
That being said, the right-wing independent media space is way better funded than the left-wing independent media space. And so we can say it's great that more people are coming to shows like ours, but organizations like the Daily Wire and Turning Point USA and others are way better equipped as far as infrastructure and financing. So the shift is bigger right now than a temporary ratings dip. We seem to be seeing the longer term trend where the gatekeepers of old school corporate media are losing power. They're losing relevance. They're losing the ability for 4 layers of editors to say, you know what, David Parkman, because they never even get my name right. They don't even care. You know what, David Parkman, we don't want you to have a show. All right, well, if enough people online say they do want me to, then I do. And I don't want to break any confidences, but I've had some interesting conversations just with people involved with corporate media over the last 3 to 4 months. And they're not offering me anything, to be clear. They seem to recognize what's happening.
Attention. The networks are scrambling to figure out YouTube and social media, but they're years behind. Why? Because corporate media isn't built for authenticity. They can't just jump into the creator space when their entire business model is based on control of narratives, control of access, control of you, and people aren't falling for it anymore.
They're trying to figure out, should we be doing more on YouTube? What should we be doing? So here's the bottom line. The post-election corporate media collapse. Is it a collapse or is it a dip? It's a symptom of a much bigger problem, and it's certainly a huge opportunity for us. We know the right is taking advantage of the opportunity. Hopefully the left will figure out how to do it as well. If you're here, you're already ahead of the curve. Let's try to keep building towards something that matters and something that will have influence.
This isn't just about CNN or MSNBC. It's about the end of the gatekeeping era. Corporate media was designed to maintain power, not challenge it. The rise of independent creators proves that people are done with being spoon-fed establishment talking points. They want truth, not PR. This shift is bigger than politics. It's about reclaiming the narrative.
And for the Democratic Party, you've got to recognize that just considering some interviews on left-wing independent media shows 3 weeks before the election, that's not really going to be enough. You've got to do better, and hopefully they will going into the next election cycle.
What we're witnessing isn't just a ratings collapse. It's a revolution. The mass exodus from corporate media is a sign that people are waking up to the lies, the spin, and the manipulation. If you're tired of being gaslit by the old gatekeepers, smash that subscribe button and join the independent media movement. Drop a hell yes in the comments if you're done with legacy media for good. Stay sharp, stay angry, and peace out.